If you're like most Americans, your 401k might be one of your largest retirement assets. But what if I told you there's a hidden tax trap lurking within it that could drastically reduce the money you retire with? And no, I'm not talking about the obvious taxes you pay now on contributions. This is something far more subtle, and it's something you need to understand before it's too late. You see, most people think their 401k is a safe haven for retirement savings. You contribute tax-deferred, and the money grows over time, right? What could be wrong with that? Well, what many don't realize is that when you finally start withdrawing those funds, the IRS is waiting with open arms, and they're taking more than you might expect. That's because your 401k is taxed as ordinary income when you take distributions. Here's the kicker. By the time you retire, the tax rates could be far higher than they are now. You've worked hard for decades to build your nest egg, but unless you're paying attention, you could be handing over a huge chunk of your retirement savings to the government without realizing it. Let me tell you a story about someone who learned this the hard way. Meet Joan, a retired teacher from Minnesota. Joan worked for over 30 years in the education system, putting aside a portion of her salary into her 401k. She diligently contributed $12,000 a year into her 401k for almost 25 years. By the time Joan retired, her 401k had grown to over $850,000, a nice, sizable nest egg to support her lifestyle. But when Joan began taking withdrawals in retirement, something shocking happened. The amount of money she actually received was far less than what she had expected. Why? Taxes. Even though Joan had spent her entire career saving diligently, her 401k withdrawals were subject to ordinary income tax. That means the more she withdrew, the more she paid, at rates that were higher than she had anticipated. Joan was blindsided by the tax bill that came due. She had to withdraw even more just to cover the taxes, leaving her with less than half of what she had saved. And because she didn't account for these potential taxes, she was forced to adjust her lifestyle, cutting back on things like vacations and even healthcare. It was a wake-up call. So what's the solution? One word: diversification. But here's where it gets interesting. A Gold IRA is one of the most powerful tools you can use to diversify your retirement savings. By rolling over a portion of your 401k into a Gold IRA, you can protect your retirement from inflation and the impact of future tax hikes. Unlike traditional 401k funds, the value of gold has historically risen during times of economic uncertainty, offering a hedge against inflation and protecting your purchasing power. More importantly, with a Gold IRA, you're not at the mercy of tax penalties when you retire. Gold IRAs are tax-deferred, just like traditional 401ks, but gold and other precious metals within the IRA offer the potential for growth that's largely immune to the unpredictable swings of the stock market. Plus, when you retire, you have the flexibility to draw from your IRA in a way that minimizes tax consequences, preserving more of your hard-earned savings. It's something I wish Joan had known before she retired. If she had taken advantage of this strategy, she could have minimized her tax exposure and ensured that her retirement savings lasted longer without the looming threat of heavy tax bills. Here's what I want you to do next. If you're feeling uncertain about your own 401k and want to avoid making the same mistake Joan did, I urge you to take action today. I've got a free Gold IRA guide for you, packed with all the details on how to protect your retirement and reduce your tax burden. But I'm not stopping there. You can also schedule a no-obligation educational call with one of our experts to see if a Gold IRA is the right move for you. There's no high-pressure sales pitch, just a one-on-one conversation where we focus on educating you about your options. You've worked hard to build your retirement savings. Don't let the tax trap derail your plans for the future. Click the link below, grab your free guide, and schedule your call today. Your future self will thank you.